Hi, friends. I'm Katie.
And I'm Lauren, and welcome to Okay, but Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today we're recapping and chatting about Bob's Burgers, Season 3, Episode 13, My Fuzzy Valentine, and Episode 14, Lindapendent Woman. We always start with a synopsis, so this is the synopsis for My Fuzzy Valentine. It's Valentine's Day. Bob does his usual for Valentine's Day for Linda, and the kids don't want to go to school. The kids convince their dad to let them join him for finding the perfect Valentine's gift for Linda. Linda sets up speed dating at the restaurant and ends up in trouble with the law. Bob ends up at a dive bar to find the love testometer from his first date with Linda, and it isn't there, only to find out Hugo is his only way of finding it. In the end, the date Bob remembered wasn't with Linda, but she is still happy with the gift. More Hugo.
So much Hugo.
Did you see the title for
So
our
much.
last episode?
I did. I did see the title. After I edit tonight, so I'm gonna listen to it.
As always, we start off with the puns of each episode from the opening credits and the burgers. So, what did you get for the vacant storefront?
We got Kuka for hookah, and the secondary sign is no smoking.
And they have like a hookah shaped sign that says open.
Yeah.
I love that though, because it's supposed to be a play on I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't translate well.
No, it doesn't. As I also feel like no one ever fully knew how to spell cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. There was always a contention of whether that's spelled whether it started with a C or a K.
On the Wiki, it is with a C.
Interesting.
What did you get for the pest control truck? I can't talk today.
It's okay. I'm unsure how to pronounce it. I wrote down. I'm gonna go with Ratso Rido is the way that I am pronouncing it. I'm guessing that's
Yes.
an acceptable pronunciation.
Ratso Rido Pest Control. It's supposed to be Ratso Rizzo from the movie Midnight Cowboy.
Okay.
And how many burgers of the day?
I only got one.
There's only one.
That I was staring at because, again, throughout the entire episode, you can see parts of it until eventually they just show us the whole thing because it's in my notes in all caps. It is the I Heartichoke You burger, which I get the pun. It's cute, but choke maybe bad placement.
Yeah, maybe we should have done a different one for that, but that is it. It's just for I Heart You, but it's an
Mm-hmm.
interesting choice.
It is, and I mean, I feel like we've talked about artichokes before. I feel like artichokes just as a topping on a burger, maybe not the most delicious. Artichoke dip, perhaps, because as I say a lot, spinach artichoke dip is pretty much just a vehicle for cheese.
It pretty much is.
So
Okay. So, did you figure out who was playing Sergeant Bosco?
no, I didn't.
So that is Gary Cole. I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
if you know that name. I
Not off the top of my
was
head.
Let me see. Yep, here's our Googling because I forgot.
Well, I know last time we said once a week. It's really is once an episode is we forget to look something up beforehand or something comes up we have to start Googling.
Okay.
We need to make sure our information is accurate. That's what we do.
He was in Office Space.
Mm,
Talladega Will Ferrell's Talladega Nights movie, which I've never seen. He was in
okay.
Dodgeball apparently.
Hmm.
Trying to be like, what else was he in that we would really know him from? But there's a lot. he's
Okay.
he's done voiceover in Family Guy as well, so
Okay.
there's so much. Oh my goodness. But so the funny thing with this one and the next episode is these episodes were switched in timeline.
Ah.
So
Gotcha.
originally, Lindapendent Woman was supposed to be before My Fuzzy Valentine. And
Mm-hmm.
instead, the date was changed to that. So it was like February 10th and like a week later in like 2013. So it really would have worked
Mm-hmm.
out either way before or after Valentine's Day. So it didn't matter too much. But ironically,
Yeah.
Lindapendent Woman, though, I know I'm going between these two, but it's because they switched them, was the last
Yeah.
episode they
That's fine.
originally recorded, like made for season 2. So
Oh,
it
okay.
was not actually meant to be in season 3. So
They do a lot of that on this show.
they do. I'm hoping they stop.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to explain.
No.
I really am excited to hear what you think about this one, though, because there's not really many notes or many fun facts or anything on this one. It's our
Yeah.
first Valentine's episode ever. We meet Sergeant Bosco, who is a returning character. He's interesting.
He's a character. He is a person who exists.
Yes, I mean this isn't the first time we've seen him. My bad. He was in season 1, but
Yeah.
I forgot for a moment because I should
Yeah,
know
he's in
this.
the hostage episode.
Yeah, he's in the
He's in
hostage
the hostage
episode.
episode.
But you get okay. So you meet him in that one, but you really meet him. In
Well, yeah,
this
considering
one.
his tactic of speed dating is let's just unload all of our baggage right now, which is trauma dumping is some people's idea of a first date.
I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, I would not date Bosco.
No, me neither. I don't think I would date any of them.
No, what were your favorite moments between the three of telling things
Well,
about
it was
themselves?
it was the well, it's not even like the random facts. Although the 10-year use infection, she really should get that checked.
Yeah.
Um, was during I guess one of the activities was foot rubs, and for whatever reason, Mort was rubbing Sergeant Bosco's foot for some reason.
I think one of the ladies left because of
Oh,
the
okay.
speed dating type stuff that was going on. I still can't get out of my head that Teddy was like, I have to dress up as Santa Claus every night or I can't go to sleep.
For someone that has a fear of furry characters, I mean, I know it's not the same thing, but he does like costumes. He just doesn't like the ones that have
does.
like the whole head situation.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
I don't
Eh,
either. But
I don't need that.
I love that the lady that gave her number to him though can completely look past the fact that if it went further, she would have to sleep next to Santa Claus every night.
She's okay with that, apparently.
She's
Maybe
okay
that's
with
a thing
that.
for her.
For
You know,
we have a whole song.
we do have a whole song. I was gonna say, if Elizabeth Mitchell's character from the Santa Claus can do that, so can anyone.
Yeah. Yup.
She's next to literal Santa Claus, though, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the whole the other one too from the Netflix movie Christmas Chronicles. My daughter's obsessed with that one. Who is it? It's
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Mm-hmm.
I love them as Mr. and Mrs. Claus. You can't get better than that for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Carol Newman. She's got a special place in my heart that I did not realize the reason behind that until I was much older.
Oh. Gay awakenings.
What are they? I don't know. Things we realize as adults are like, oh, that's why I like the
Right?
character so much. Oh, that makes a lot of
Watching
sense now.
things. Oh, like watching
Yeah.
Spy Kids for the first time ever with my daughter made me realize, oh, yep,
Yep. The mom
the
and
mom
Spy
and Spy
Kids.
Kids. I was like, oh, this explains a lot about
Yep.
me.
When she took the last wig off and it was just her hair slicked back in the elevator.
Yes.
And that was it. That was it.
I just need everybody to understand the sheer amount of times that Lauren and I have sent things to each other, and all we reply with is, I am no better than a man, because we are not.
It's nearly daily.
It's nearly daily. It's been what, Lana? It's been Hannah Waddingham.
Yeah, I was like 80%. 80% of the time it's Lana Parrilla and Hannah Waddingham, honestly. But like again, Hannah Waddingham. One thing, I mean, I know you didn't watch the
Yet.
Christmas special yet, and we were gonna watch it together, and then I just watched it because I needed it, and you were busy.
Understandable.
Which is understandable. But at the very end, when they all kind of come in together, they do like one big group hug. Everyone that's on stage, Phil Dunster, I think is how you say his last. I think that's his last name. The guy that plays Jamie on Ted Lasso.
I love him.
He comes around the front, and you can see him very specifically maneuver himself. So like when he does the hug, his head lands on her stomach and not on her chest.
I'm proud of him.
He's very particular. Like you can see him fitting himself in to make sure it's appropriate, which is adorable. But like she looks like she gives such good hugs. She's so tall. She is mother.
I
Yes.
really want to know the height difference between herself and myself, and that's all I'm gonna say. Um,
Well, let's see what Google has
no.
to say about that. And of course, we have to bring in the voice now. Should the voice just also now just be like a one episode, time and
It's
place?
just gonna keep
I
happening.
am trying. You did ask me if I could do an impression of her. And like I did think about this because when it comes to like the voice
Mm-hmm.
this voice, which is just the general British accent, whatever you want to call this, it's not any particular dialect. It's whatever I try and use that comes out naturally. Um, it came from like the few people that I based it on. It came from listening to them over and over and over again. For the bad impression voiceovers, that's kind of where it came from. Was just literally hours of listening to these people's voices. I would need, not that I'm
Mm-hmm.
complaining, but in order to do some sort of voice for Hannah Waddingham and getting her dialect down, I would very much need to listen to her voice for hours on end. According to Google, she is 5'11", so she is almost exactly a foot taller than you. She is exactly a foot taller than my girlfriend.
Okay, so
She is, and that's without heels, which I'm certain she wears a lot.
I have no words.
Welcome to the inner machinations that are our brains.
If anyone's wondering, these are just our normal conversations usually.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this podcast. Is sometimes we just record them for posterity.
Just proof. Okay, you're gonna love this, but the kids buckle it up
Mm-hmm.
song. My kids sing
Mm-hmm.
that when they get in the car.
Buckle it up or
It's
you'll
buckle it up,
die.
buckle it up, or you're not. Now, I will say, my poor child's friend, she got in the car with us to go somewhere before,
Mm-hmm.
and my
Yeah.
kid did it. And this poor child, same age as my
Oh.
daughter, is just sitting there going, "What did you just say?"
Oh, that poor kid.
That poor kid. And I was like, "It's from a TV show. I'm so sorry." And she's just looking at me like, "Are we gonna die?" And I'm like, "No, honey. No, honey. We're not. We're not gonna die."
It's good. It's good car safety
It's good car safety.
reminders.
I felt like a horrible parent in that moment, but now she'll sing it sometimes too. So it's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't I have one line as a
Okay.
note, and it's just a
Mm-hmm.
dyslexic episode.
I remember the line. What was the context of that?
They were asking the kids reasons why they shouldn't have to go to school.
Oh, right.
And Louise is like, "I'm having a dyslexic episode." Tina said she was pregnant.
Okay.
And then, oh, what did Jean say? Oh no. I cannot remember what Jean's was. It's only been a few hours since I've watched it too, which is really sad.
Yeah. For me, this is even
What's my
fresh
memory?
this is fresh for me because I watched it yesterday, which is a faster turnaround than I normally do.
And my other, like my last note is just it is illegal to not deliver the mail.
Yes, yes, it is.
Very illegal.
I'm sure you had a lot to say on that.
Not a lot. Just I
Mm-hmm.
have funny stories from what Steven has told me
Mm-hmm.
because he of course gets information and sees stuff and gets like inside information sometimes when something happens because they'll have like talks at work of like, this is what happened. Don't do this. Like they
Mm-hmm.
very much in the post office are like, here's the example. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've had people pretty much take like couldn't deliver their mail in time, so they would get like a storage unit and start just putting it in the storage unit
Mm-hmm.
so it looked like they were delivering their mail, and they weren't.
Well,
So then you'll have in the news storage unit full of mail.
something that my post office does. I mean, they do always eventually deliver it, but I think sometimes the packages get lost or something on the truck or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. What they'll do is instead of I guess doing whatever they have to like to be like brought back to postal office, they'll mark it as delivered to like a postal locker or something like that. Like
Oh.
something that's what they mark it as, and then they just deliver it the next day. But that doesn't help me because that happened with I was waiting on some package. I don't remember exactly what it was, and I was about to call the post office. Like if they didn't show up by the time they came with my mail, I'm like, because if it's just at the post office, like now that it's happened so many times, we know that that's what they do. But I'm like, just I know not everyone is like this, but I would be less mad if they just told me that they brought it back to the post office and they would deliver it tomorrow.
I got a question. I got a postal question. Why would a post office scan something and have it labeled as delivered to locker instead of delivered to the house, but then still deliver it the next day?
Sometimes people are idiots and hit the wrong button.
Sometimes people are idiots and hit the wrong button.
Because that's every time that's what happens if a package gets delivered to the if it just gets stuck on the truck and they forget to deliver it
Mhm.
on their route, they hit delivered to locker and bring it back to the post office and deliver it the next day.
But yeah, so that's pretty much what, like, there's your answer. Postal, pretty much. But that's, that's your postal carrier answer, is the person just either scanned it wrong or just, it is what it is.
Honestly, since that's been the procedure, I think that is on purpose. I think that's just what they do. I don't think it's by accident anymore.
It could be a situation of they get there too, and it doesn't end up like on the actual mail
Hmm.
truck to go out, and they find it
Yeah.
like later on in the day in the office of like, oh wait, this is supposed to go out today. We'll just put it
Yeah.
here for tomorrow. What other notes do you
Most of my
have?
notes are just are I mean to be fair, most of the time they're just my inner thoughts as I'm going on with the episode. But I wrote heart-shaped food is cute. Heart-shaped laundry, not so much.
Yeah, the laundry was not the
No.
win.
And then oh dear god, no, not speed dating.
That was some interesting speed dating. You got some Hugo, you got Gretchen, you
It
got
was
Teddy.
Yeah, I wrote clean up on aisle my panties. Ew.
Yeah, she did that.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that one. 60 seconds is not enough time for conversation in speed dating. Like, I have never
No.
done speed dating, but like I feel like from what I've seen on TV, it's at minimum 5 minutes.
At the hand holding too. They had speed hand holding.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Was a choice.
You'll appreciate this note because during them following Hugo and Ron, I wrote in all caps, they can make a left turn. That is not New Jersey.
Like, you can't make any left turns?
I mean, it depends on the area you're in. Like, obviously, in residential areas, you can.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it depends on the infrastructure of the town, but like this was my being me at this point. I'm like, I feel like in most commercial areas, like a lot of times you can't. It's just not built. They don't build them that way. Where it's a lot of no left turns. You kind of have to make a lot of loop de
We are
loops.
so close to this map. We're like
So excited.
2 weeks away from this map. And it's a very
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because
short moment, so be ready.
I will watch it. I will be prepared. I will be watching a lot of TV that week. 'Cause I think we're watching that the same week as our finale special for Once Upon a Time.
We're watching it the same week, yes. I think we're just
Yeah,
gonna
that's
record on different nights.
on different nights. Yeah, because that'll be a at least I'll have 2 weeks to. I mean, it won't take me 2 weeks to edit it, but I'll have 2 weeks to edit it if I want to.
Look, I just need to make sure that I've got everything edited before January 5th, and we're good.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I think you got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Oh, where's the last of my children get out of the strip club was one.
You got to see Pickles.
We did. I got to see Pickles. I appreciate the male performers. But I don't something about love tester machines always creep me out. Like I understand that it's a memory from a date that ended up not being their actual first date, but just the because how do they work? Is it pretty much just like how clammy your hands are?
It's something like that, I guess. I'm not sure how those things work. I can't remember the last time I messed around with one of them. I don't think they exist as much anymore.
Not
It's
really.
gotta be something out of the 90s. Because I've definitely, like,
Yeah.
used one before, but, like, probably in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I feel like most of my knowledge of love tester machines is mostly like 90s, early 2000s
Mhm.
cartoons.
It's been, like, 20 years. It's been, like, 20 years
Yeah.
since I've done anything like that. I can say that now. Alright. What'd you score this?
It's a great transition. I gave this an 8 for plot, decent chaos. I gave it an 8 for character again because I liked,
Mhm.
Bob's just trying. Like I stand in my note of when adding to someone's collection, it's important to know what they already have.
Mhm.
So maybe going for like the keepsake figurine, maybe not the best idea if you don't exactly know what's in her collection, but he's
Oh,
trying. Like
yeah.
it's a good episode for that. I gave it a 7 for personal. It lost a point there, so I got a 23. There's a lot of Hugo. There's a lot of Teddy. There's a lot of Gretchen. There's a lot of characters that I didn't need to see that much of. So
Or learn that much about.
or learn that much about them. So I did give this one a 7.
I gave this one 8s across the board.
Okay.
I have a trend tonight apparently. I like this episode. It's pretty good. It's our first Valentine's episode, so we get a hint of that. I find it enjoyable. Not the best
Mm-hmm.
Bob's episode, but not the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for Lindapendent Woman?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Linda has her own system of keeping the bills paid at the restaurant. She gets a part-time job at Fresh Feed to help with the finances. Bob struggles to keep up with Linda's system and the bills while she is gone and misses Linda working with him. The kids visit their mom at her new job, and Tina has a Cinderella moment with a boy in the dairy section. The Belcher kids then try to find the mysterious boy, and Tina gets her kiss. Linda struggles as the new shift manager at Fresh Feed, and chaos ensues. In the end, they both realize they'd prefer Linda working at Bob's Burgers. Also, an episode.
Yeah, that was a long synopsis for you.
You got some singing this time.
There was singing this time, and it definitely, we can get into it later, but it definitely gave me it's just a greasy spoon vibes from SpongeBob.
Oh, and this stuff continues too, so I'm really excited. But let's do our puns real quick. What did you get for the vacant storefront?
That was Let's Scissor Collage Studio.
The secondary sign is a scissor bearing the sign open, and the wiki has informed me that this is a play on the sex act of scissoring.
Lovely. I had a feeling.
Lovely.
I had
was
a
getting my
feeling.
notes together, and I was like, I have no idea how Lauren is going to react to this.
I mean, especially because it's a collage studio, so I feel like that's also even more so just like, I mean, I know scissors, but also like college.
Yeah.
That, yeah. It doesn't work. I'm sure
I
for
was
someone
waiting
it,
for that.
I'm sure for someone it does, but like, I don't know.
I plead the fifth. So, what did you get for the pest control truck?
The pest control truck, I got the Mice Man Cometh, which that as opposed to like, you know, it was like Ready Set Dead, or was a couple of like them. I'm like, this is actually clever.
Yeah. I like this one. This one's for the Iceman Cometh. That's a play written in like the 1930s,
Something like that.
and it's got a mouse dressed as a man.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got 3 burgers of the day.
I did get all 3.
You got all 3? Okay.
The first one was hard because again, it was like they were maneuvering around it, and I'm like, just stop standing in front of the burger, dang it. Was Don't You for Cheddar Bout It burger. I'm guessing comes with cheddar.
It comes with 4 kinds of cheddar.
4 kinds of cheddar. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's for Don't You Forget About Me, the song.
Yeah. We have the I Mint to Do That burger. Comes with mint relish.
I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of, I guess, chutneys. It depends on like other kinds of like herb relish chutney thing. It depends on what I'm eating. Like, I'm okay with it on like certain kinds of grilled meat. I don't know how I feel about it on a burger though.
Yeah. And then one more.
Only the provolone burger.
Comes with provolone.
Mm-hmm.
That's creative.
I don't like provolone. Like,
I have to have it on a certain type of food. I don't like it on just anything.
Yeah, like I feel like on like a type of sandwich, like I'm not, like, if it's with the right stuff, I'm not a big fan of places that will just kind of use it in place of like mozzarella, because it's not really the same kind of cheese. Like, I get they're both kind of mild cheeses, but like it's not the same.
One melts better than the other still.
Yeah, and also depends on the kind. Like, if you're using it in place of like fresh mozzarella, that there is no comparison.
So only a couple of fun facts for this one. We do see, apparently, Dr. Yap's car can be seen in the Fresh Feed parking lot. So he also goes to Fresh Feed. So, you remember the Hummer guy from that same episode, the Bob Day Afternoon? He is voiced by Todd Barry, and he appears again in this episode. He is again credited as Hummer Guy, even though he's Sex UV is not seen in this episode. If I remember correctly, he's the guy standing next to Louise, and she insults him.
Gotcha.
And then when Tina posts the missed connection poster, a reversed version of the Bob's Burgers storefront appears to the left of the screen. So, like, just an interesting visual thing that they did.
I like when they do that.
And I just have to say my first note, because apparently we're getting more explicit than we usually do in this episode. Please tell me adult bries don't exist.
Adult brisses?
Yeah, brisses. It's actually brisses. Brie or
Briss.
Briss. Thank you.
Briss.
I don't know how to pronounce it, apparently.
Okay, yeah, so originally, it's a bris is the thing. I did write down an adult brisk. It's really sad that I didn't notice that she mispronounced it until he pointed it out. As far as I'm aware, adults can get circumcised if they want to.
Yeah.
I don't know how often, like, the religious ceremony of a bris happens on an adult.
Okay.
I don't have stats on that. I don't know if that's a case of, like, if an adult man converts and he hasn't been, he has to be. I really want to hope people would go to a doctor's office for that as an adult.
Like, just go to the doctor. Doctor will take care of it.
I don't know. And I don't, that's not something I'm compelled to Google.
We are not Googling that. Please don't Google that.
Yeah, it's not something, like, becoming a bar bat mitzvah as an adult happens all the time. Like, if you convert it again, people do that. But yeah, I don't think there's that adult brisses are that common. To my understanding.
I don't know. Maybe it's the learning French for as long as I did.
But
I see the RIS and my head goes, oh, that's how that's pronounced.
Yeah. No, but you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if you even could, because technically speaking, a bris needs to happen on the 8th day of life.
Oh, is the number 8 important?
Yeah, 8 is big in Judaism.
Okay.
So I actually, now that I think about it, I'm like, if an adult if they needed to get circumcised for whatever reason as an adult, I don't know if they even technically could have a bris unless you're going to do it on the 8th day of them being a Jew.
I've just now realized this isn't a podcast. This is Katie getting Jewish lessons in the guise of a podcast.
Pretty much, yeah.
I've had kosher lessons. I've had deli lessons. I've had Hanukkah lessons.
I want to again say with my deli thing, the whole point of my rant from that one episode, however many weeks ago that was, is that deli selections are subjective. So if you disagree with my stances, that is okay. That is expected because, again, delis are subjective.
I'm starting to feel like a deli choice is a controversial subject within Judaism.
I mean, amongst American Jews, sure.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I mean, because this is so not on topic, but it's like I feel like, again, like deli food, like Jewish deli food is very much American Jewish tradition.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would have American or just Jewish deli. I don't know if that's a thing in other areas of the world. I don't know. And also, I should say I know from New York City, northern New Jersey, Jewish deli food. So, your experiences may vary.
Yeah, where I live, I don't think we even have a Jewish deli. So, I mean, maybe in Atlanta. Right. I have no idea.
Possibly.
Maybe
I'll
Google that later for my next Atlanta trip.
That's a Googleable thing. There's a place in Brooklyn that it's Jewish Japanese fusion, and it sounds amazing because they have a matzo ball ramen.
Oh.
It sounds amazing because that sounds delicious.
When I finally visit you one day, can we go there?
I mean, if we end up in Brooklyn, I think you underestimate how big New York City is and how hard it is to navigate.
I have no idea how big this place is.
Because the things that you've asked me to do are in multiple boroughs.
I don't know how any of it works. I live in a very small town.
If you want to go to Yankee Stadium and a Broadway show, those can't happen on the same day.
Oh, those will not happen on the same day because
it's not physically possible. It's a lot of people, but also just like Yankee Stadium is in the Bronx, like North Bronx. Broadway is Midtown Manhattan. That's by public transit over an hour. Just not even leaving New York City.
Really?
Yeah.
It takes me 2 hours just to drive to Atlanta. That's it.
Yeah, no,
Like
that's
that's just distance wise.
yeah, public transit. You could be on public transit for a while and never leave the city.
I love the line that I did write down though. It just says evaluate your wife. Don't do it, Bob.
But like, as he started doing it, I'm like, dude, this is not how you get your wife to stay.
Nope, don't do that.
You give her all hundreds. You give her all A's.
And then I wrote down, you should not give Louise a price gun.
No, you should not. Well, as soon as she started doing the shrimp with the balloon, I wrote down flying shrimp, and then the very end, I made it rain shrimp. And I'm like, this is the most Louise thing ever.
It's one of my favorites too. It's absolutely amazing. And then of course the musical aspect. You have finally gotten a full like musical moment in Bob's Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the first, and there's so many to continue because I was just turned on Bob's while I was cooking, and I just kept it in season 3 because I'm like, what is Lauren about to see? And there's another episode where another song starts, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, yes, like I forgot how often it actually is. So you're gonna love it.
Yeah, this one really it gave me, a stove is a stove, no matter where you go. Like that's really the vibes that this one gave me, and it was so good.
It's so good, right? I love that they don't treat like these songs and these musical moments as like these great amazing singing moments. They all just sound like themselves.
Yeah.
And I will always be happy to hear H. John Benjamin sing. It makes me happy. There's later on a song that's Bob and Louise. I forget what season right now, but there's later on something with that, and it's my favorite song in the entirety of Bob's Burgers, and I already know you're gonna love it. So this is the beginning of many.
Okay. But it's interesting that you say like that they all kind of just let them sound like themselves, because I mean now that's really the important thing is, and this is not to go back to our Hannah Waddingham thing from before, because I watched someone was doing an interview with, I think it was about her Christmas special, and they asked her, like about like how difficult it is to sing like as different characters, and she mentioned how like singing as herself is, if she's singing things as herself, she's much much freer with her sound. It's much easier. She can it's much more effortless because she's got the training. But to sing as like Rebecca from Ted Lasso, she has to sing like someone who can sing, but like who isn't a professional singer. So she changes the way that she sings to suit the character, and like it wouldn't necessarily make sense that Bob would sound like, I mean, I don't know if H. John Benjamin can sing like, like a Broadway performer. I don't know if he can, but like it wouldn't make sense that Bob could.
Exactly.
Same with, same with Linda. It really wouldn't make sense for her to sound not like her. So.
We all love John Roberts, so.
That we do.
But yeah, so what fun notes do you have for me?
Well, I did love Tina's little, Cinderella moment with the dairy case, although for most of the time I wrote, Tina, you are better than being the phantom of the dairy case. That's what I called her.
The phantom of the dairy case.
But I just went, stop kissing the Band-Aid.
Yeah, I was like, not the Band-Aid, not the used Band-Aid.
Nope, like, I get it. I did love the misconnection sign. I did love that. Because I feel like that was such an era of Craigslist that, like, I just miss.
Do you have high hopes for Tina and her Band-Aid boy?
Do I have high hopes for it?
No.
No.
Okay, remember that.
I think that because I feel like the second Jimmy Pesto gives her any kind of attention, she's just gonna go right back to him. So.
Oh, I love that we're having this conversation so much.
Usually I'm the one that says that.
So, what's really funny? The same week that we're watching It Snakes a Village, you will get a very fun experience for a Tina episode with Two for Tina.
Okay.
So I love that we're having this conversation. In 2 weeks, we'll talk about this again.
Okay, sounds good. I guess I already mentioned my raining shrimp note, which was just very, very funny. My last note. I mean, I most of my notes were about retail at work, and I'm like, this just gives me bad flashbacks to when I used to work at Target. And just the fact that what was the name of the store? Fresh Feed?
Fresh feed, yeah.
Fresh feed. It was like, okay, so this is Trader Joe's. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, while cheap, like, you're not, most people, even though they say they can, you really can't do an entire week's worth of grocery shopping in a Trader Joe's.
I've heard that
Like,
because
they
we
have
don't have one. I've been in one,
mhm,
but
yeah. Like, they have a lot of, they have some decent produce, but, like, again, it's like, it's pretty much like, it's, you're paying per item, not per pound. And
ugh.
like, their big thing is the frozen stuff, it's the prepackaged stuff, it's the pre-made stuff. Like, it's, you're getting a lot of stuff, but like, you can't really get a whole lot of raw ingredients to make
Mm.
stuff. It's like, you really can't do an entire week's worth, in my opinion, you can't do an entire week's worth of grocery shopping. Like, Trader Joe's is a stop on your way to your grocery store. For some specific things.
I'm gonna stick with Aldi.
Yeah,
I like my Aldi.
do what works for you. Do what works for you. But this one was just like, it gave me bad retail worker flashbacks. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm done. But my very last note again was with Tina was, oh, she got a foot popping kiss.
She did get a foot popping kiss. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I've had Princess Diaries on the brain because I've been watching the clips from the Variety Actors on Actors with Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt all day, because that's just been I've basically seen the entire interview through TikToks on my FYP all day.
Of course. See, all that does is make me want to watch Princess Diaries 2.
That was 3 movies.
I know. I don't know where I was going with that. In my mouth.
Princess
my brain.
Congeniality 2.
I don't know what's happening with me today. My brain and my
know.
mouth don't know how to work together today. But no, I need to, because we watched Princess Diaries. I tried to show it to my daughter. So I really need to watch the second one, because that one really gives a good like romance story. And I actually, as someone who doesn't read a lot of romance, I like that romance. But I also just read a romance that's similar-ish, kind of. Not really, but
okay.
It was royalty. Maybe that's where my brain's going with that one. I just read like a royalty romance book. And so I'm like, I need that. But at the same time, now that you've said Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt, I'm like, ooh, Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada.
Like, where do I begin?
It's such a good movie.
So good. It's it's gonna be.
You went upstairs. You went upstairs. Why didn't you just crawl into bed with her and ask for a bedtime story? Like, it's just so good.
I mean, Meryl Streep, like Stanley Tucci.
Is there a reason my coffee isn't here yet? Stanley Tucci.
I can't talk.
Is there a reason that it's okay? Is there a reason my coffee isn't here yet? Has she died or something?
Damn it! Now I gotta watch it.
Fun fact: an actor for Once Upon a Time is in The Devil Wears Prada. She's on my wall. You haven't met her on Once Upon a Time yet.
Oh, that's her. Okay.
Yeah. She's the one that when they do the run through with everything.
Yes, I know exactly.
She holds up
the belts.
The belts, and she goes, "It's so hard to tell. They're so different."
And of course, Anne Hathaway's like laughing, and then the whole cerulean. Yep. We just need to watch that movie.
Thing.
I know this movie too well.
But yeah, the belts. That would be Rebecca Mader.
Oh my god. Okay, now I'm really excited. Okay, back to Bob's.
Back to Bob's Burgers.
Would it be a Bob's Burgers episode if we weren't talking about anything but?
Like, we go on so many tangents. I think it's because we want to make these episodes as long as the Once Upon a Time ones, but there's not as much to talk about.
Not always. We've had some episodes where there's a lot of fun facts and there's a lot to talk about, but then we have these other episodes where I'm like, this was an episode.
Yeah. Like, in this one, I enjoyed this one. Like, it's just... it was fun. It was good, but it's just there's not as much meat to talk about as we've had with other episodes.
Which and that's fine. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot more episodes to go. So these next few, I think, are gonna be. We're also into our first long season, because season 1 and 2 should have just been a season, but they weren't.
Yeah.
And so this is our first like long season. We're in episode 13 and 14 out of like 20 something. So in that weird middle where it's like, they're good episodes, they're not bad episodes, but they're not like the episodes you're really, really excited for. Because there's a few episodes coming up, like I said, that you're going to have a lot more to say about. Like, I cannot wait. But what did you rate this one?
So I gave this one a 25 in total. This one got, again, an 8 for character, 8 for plot. Perfectly enjoyable. It got a 9 for personal. I think A, because of the musical number, and B, because it's raining shrimp.
That's fair. I gave this a 28.
Nice.
It's got a 10 for plot, and that is for a reason that I'm not going to say right now.
Okay.
Because it's another thing with continuity within Bob's Burgers, which is so funny because we continue to have plenty of continuity in the animated show that
Where
honestly
they
doesn't need
flip
it.
things around all the time.
Exactly. They move episodes around.
Yeah.
And then character and personal, I gave both 9 because I do really love this episode. Get the first song, like big song, like they've sang here and there, but nothing like a full like song themselves. You've got like your
Yeah.
montage songs that they've done. I love this one because
The
it's more of a
Thanksgiving song.
musical. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Thanksgiving song was one. This one I love because it's more than one person. It feels more like a musical where you've got things going on and happening all around. But I like this episode.
It was a good one. Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Once Upon a Time, episode 120, The Stranger. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. And follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and TikTok.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Katie and Lauren and edited by Katie.